Good morning, cats. Today's the day that I'm supposed to get the new garage floor put down. So the guy told me he was going to show up at 8 o'clock. So, I had kind of a restless night, knowing that I had to get up far before 8 o'clock because I had to have everything cleared out of the garage. So this morning, bright and early, I pulled the bikes out and got them tarped over because it was raining this morning and there's more rain supposed to come. And they said these are going to have to sit out for like 2 days before I can pull them in on the new floor. Tractor can stay there. The car and the truck are over there because they're going to do some grinding. They have diamond grinder. That they're going to grind all this floor and get all of this spalling off of here before they put the treatment down. So anyway, they said have everything you can cleaned out of the garage, and they said whatever the heavier stuff is, don't strain yourself. We'll help you move it out. So I didn't make a lot of effort to take my toolbox weighs a ton in itself. This thing would be awkward for me to lift. That thing's a little awkward. That chop saw is really a piece of junk. It's an old Craftsman. And years ago, I was cutting a board and the blade grabbed and it busted. It had like an aluminum fence here. And it completely busted the fence to shreds. So I kind of fabricated this 2x4 fence, but it sprung everything. It twisted the shaft. I had to get a new shaft for it, new blade, and it never has cut right since. It's all right for just chopping boards in half, but that's about it. It doesn't even do a good 45, so it's pretty much and it's heavy. It's very heavy. So I could probably get rid of it. I don't know what to do with it. Somebody might have a use for it, but other than that, maybe I'll just take it to Habitat to Humanity and let them see if they can sell it. Maybe somebody will buy it. I don't know. I never use it. I used it when I was building the house, and after that I rarely ever used it again. It just didn't work that well. So I got all the small stuff piled up on my workbench, and the whole floor's cleaned out all the way around. I put a lot of stuff in the back of my pickup truck too, so that's going to stay dry over there. I put this big tarp over it, and I got bungee straps around there to hold it down in case the wind blows, so that should be okay. Anyways, here it is, like going on 10 o'clock already, and the guy's a no-show. So hopefully he shows up today. I mean, I got up early this morning because he said he was going to be here at 8. And I got no phone call, no nothing. I have no idea when he's going to get here. But I'm sure he'll be here sooner or later. He better. Well, my contractor showed up. And they're just down there covering up my stuff with Visqueen plastic in case it rains. So that's a good thing. And then the guy told me that he's going to be here for a couple days to get this job done, which I didn't expect because originally he told me he could get it done in a day. But he said, well, it's more work than I thought. So I said, well, it is what it is. I mean, let's just get it done. Just do it. So it looks like it's going to be a bigger job. You'll see their grinder took it right down to the aggregate. I peeled that skin right off of there, right nice. So even this place over here that was spalled real bad, it took it right down to the smooth aggregate. That machine there is pretty nice. It did the job. Now they're cleaning the floor with the acetone. Look at these shoes he has to wear when he walks on that.
Men's heels.
Looks like they're about ready to put the goop down. Well, it turned out to be a pretty nice day, and the guys worked all day on this. They didn't quite get finished though, but let me show you what they did. It looks like it's finished, but it doesn't have the sealer coat on it yet. So once they put the seal coat on there, it'll be like kind of a gloss coat. What they're going to do though is the flakes are trying to set up onto that polymer base that they put down, and that's got to set up. If you were to put your hand on this, you could still feel it a little squishy. Now the thing is, they said it dries in warmer weather, so we close the garage doors. It's already getting warm in here. So the warmer it is in there, the faster this will dry. And then he's going to come back first thing in the morning and put the sealer gloss coat over the top of it. And it will look like a brand spanking new garage. Now this is guaranteed for 20 years, so it should outlive me easily. That's just a guarantee on it, so it should easily outlive me. But it's got to sit for a couple days before I can put anything on it or move anything back in there again. So everything has to sit outside. I got the bikes covered up, I got my other equipment covered up, and my truck and my car are sitting out there. So, hey, whatever. I got security. Okay, I know a lot of you are asking the question, what happened to your ear, Itchy? What happened to your ear? It was my own dumb fault. I was mowing under these branches right here. And they were much lower at the time. And I was backing up with the tractor. And I leaned way over. And as I was backing up, one of these sharp limbs caught my ear and about ripped my ear off. I knew right away it was bad because it hurt terribly bad. My ear just like instantly was throbbing and I could feel the blood starting to run down my cheek. So I shut the tractor off. I got off. I left the tractor sitting right there. I got off the tractor. I ran into the house as fast as I could. I had my hand over my ear. I could feel the blood pooling up. My hand was full of blood. And I didn't want to drip it all over the floor, but I had to get in the house, right? I had to get first aid. So anyways, I got up. I got into the kitchen and got a wad of paper towels and held it there. And eventually I got the bleeding to like slow down, stop, where I could clean it up a little bit. And then I went across the street and had my neighbor look at it. I said, "You guys know anything about first aid?" I said, "Look at my ear and make sure it's okay." And she looked at it pretty carefully and she said, "It looks like you just, split it and, cut it pretty bad." But she goes, "I don't think you'll need stitches or anything. Just bandage it back up and you'll be okay." So I came back home and I washed it all out with hydrogen peroxide. And then I put a big gauze thing on there and I thought, how am I going to hold that on there? Well, I got a pair of my shooting headphones. And I put the headphones on there and it held the gauze pad onto the side of my head. And I finished mowing the yard. And then later that evening I took a shower and I rinsed it out the best I could, got all of the dried blood off of there and everything. And then I put an actual bandage on there and taped it over my whole ear. So the bandage that's on there now is, just kind of a Band-Aid type thing because it's doing a lot better than it was originally. But it's going to take a week or so for that to heal up. I got a different crew today. They had to come in and clean up all the loose stuff off of the floor. Vacuumed it all up, swept it all up, and now they're putting the final gloss coat on. right, there it is. The floor is done. Now it has to set up for 3 days before I can move in. They said tomorrow I could walk on it, but they said don't put anything on it for 3 days. No cars in there, can't put the bikes in there. So we're just gonna turn off the light and shut the door. I'm gonna lock it just to make sure I don't forget and go wandering in there. But yeah, well, here's the deal. You know, they sold me this package and they said they're going to get it done in 1 day. Well, they didn't. They didn't get it done the first day. The guy said, I'll be out first thing in the morning and I'll finish it for you. I said, all right. But I still didn't like it because, you know, I got my stuff sitting out here. Well, the next day they called and said, oh, sorry, man, but we can't get out today to finish your job. I was like, what? And they're like, we won't be able to get it done till the weekend. I was pissed. I was really, really pissed. And so I called their office and I said, you know, wait a minute. You told me a 1-day job. And the whole reason is, you know, you get it done quick, so it's 4 days total that my stuff has to sit out like this, which isn't good, but it, you know, you got to do what you got to do. But now they pushed it out into almost a week. In fact, more than that. So probably like a week and a half. So I was pissed, and I didn't curse, but you know, as a project manager in my past employment, I had to deal with contractors. And you just can't pussyfoot around with these guys. And I called this guy up and I just reamed him. And I said, you know, you told me you were going to get it done in 1 day. I understand there's things that happen, but I said, you know, and then you don't come out the next day and you tell me you can't get it done on the weekend. And these guys that worked today came all the way from Cincinnati, Ohio, like a 4-hour drive to get here and finish my floor. So now, yeah, it stays as it is for 3 more days. So it'll be next week sometime before I can move back in. So in the meantime, you know, all my everything's wrapped up. I could uncover the bikes and ride them, but so that's not an issue. But I still don't like my stuff being under a tarp. I mean, you see the wind blows, the tarp moves. That could potentially scratch the paint. You know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? It rubbed me the wrong way. So anyway, they told me that next week they would settle up with this and we can negotiate on it, which there's going to be some negotiating because, you know, when you promise me one thing and I get something else, okay, now we got to talk, you know, now we got to talk. And that's just the way it goes. So there you go. We had a little mishap. One of the Bambi twins got hit by a car out on the right about in front of my driveway this morning. So I had to drag it back in here, and I thought maybe the vultures would find it, but not yet. Kind of a cool day, so it may take some time. Oh, the vultures are flying up above my head right now, so I think they just found it. So they will be feasting on that. And hey, the sooner it's gone, the less stink I'll have. But I put it way down the driveway here on my little dead end trail. That trail used to go all the way around, but a bunch of trees fell down and it was just too much to maintain. and never did anything with it after that. So it just kind of goes into the woods and dead ends, and it was a perfect place to put that little Bambi. Well, cats, you know what they say. You win some, you lose some. I don't know if I'm a winner or a loser half the time, but I'm just doing the best that I can. I appreciate your support. Thanks for the comments. Thanks for the subscriptions. Till next time, cats. I'll see you later.